Fortinet, Ivanti, and SAP have recently issued urgent patches for serious security vulnerabilities that could allow attackers to bypass authentication and execute arbitrary code. This is particularly concerning as these flaws could compromise sensitive systems and data. On December 10, 2025, Fortinet announced vulnerabilities in several of its products, including FortiOS and FortiWeb, which could be exploited by unauthenticated users under certain conditions. Ivanti also released updates to fix a critical flaw in its Endpoint manager, while SAP addressed multiple vulnerabilities, 3 of which are classified as critical. In this video, we'll break down these vulnerabilities, the potential risks they pose, and the recommended actions for users to protect their systems. If you find this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals. On December 10, 2025, Fortinet, Ivanti, and SAP each took significant steps to address critical security vulnerabilities, highlighting the ongoing challenges in cybersecurity. Fortinet's vulnerabilities, tracked as CVE-2025-59718 and CVE-2025-59719, stem from improper verification of cryptographic signatures, posing a severe risk if the FortiCloud SSO feature is enabled. Organizations are urged to disable this feature until updates can be applied, emphasizing the need for proactive risk management in system configurations. Ivanti's response involved patching a critical flaw in its Endpoint manager, identified as CVE-2025-10573, which allows remote attackers to execute arbitrary JavaScript through a stored cross-site scripting vulnerability. This issue was reported by Rapid7 researcher Ryan Emmons and underscores the importance of user interaction in exploitation scenarios. The ease of triggering this vulnerability during routine IT operations raises alarm bells about the potential for widespread attacks if not promptly addressed. In addition to these, SAP's December updates targeted multiple critical vulnerabilities, including CVE-2025-42880 and CVE-2025-42928, which could lead to remote code execution. The involvement of Onapsis in identifying these flaws indicates the value of collaboration between companies and security researchers in enhancing software security. These vulnerabilities illustrate the necessity for organizations to maintain rigorous patch management practices and to stay informed about the latest threats to their systems. Overall, the timeline of these vulnerability discoveries and responses reveals a pattern of rapid identification and remediation efforts by major software providers. However, the persistent nature of these threats calls for continuous vigilance and strategic planning to safeguard sensitive data and maintain operational integrity in an increasingly hostile cyber landscape. The recent security vulnerabilities identified in Fortinet, Ivanti, and SAP products have significant implications for organizations and their users. As these companies manage critical infrastructure and enterprise solutions, the potential for exploitation poses a considerable risk not only to the affected systems but also to the broader ecosystem that relies on their software. Organizations must prioritize the implementation of the patches provided by these vendors. Delays in updating software can lead to increased chances of successful attacks, as cybercriminals often exploit known vulnerabilities. Given the high CVSS scores associated with these flaws, the urgency for organizations to act is paramount. Failure to patch can result in unauthorized access to sensitive data, operational disruptions, and financial losses. Moreover, the nature of these vulnerabilities highlights the need for organizations to adopt a proactive security posture. This includes not only applying patches promptly but also regularly reviewing and updating security policies and procedures. Implementing robust user training programs can further mitigate risks, particularly in cases where social engineering tactics might be employed to exploit vulnerabilities that require user interaction. From a user perspective, the implications are equally significant. Users accessing systems affected by these vulnerabilities may unknowingly expose themselves to attacks, particularly if they are not aware of the risks associated with the features like FortiCloud SSO login. It is essential for organizations to communicate clearly with their users about the risks and the necessary steps to mitigate them, such as disabling specific features until patches are applied. Furthermore, the interconnected nature of enterprise systems means that a vulnerability in one product can have ripple effects across an organization's IT landscape. This interconnectedness necessitates a comprehensive approach to cybersecurity, where organizations assess not only their immediate software vulnerabilities but also the potential impact on other systems and processes. In summary, the recent vulnerabilities underscore the critical need for timely action, enhanced security practices, and effective communication between organizations and their users. As cyber threats continue to evolve, maintaining vigilance and adaptability will be key to safeguarding sensitive information and ensuring operational integrity. As organizations address these critical vulnerabilities, it's crucial for both IT departments and end users to understand the next steps they should take to mitigate risk effectively. First and foremost, organizations must prioritize applying the latest patches from Fortinet, Ivanti, and SAP as soon as possible. Each vendor has provided specific instructions on how to implement these updates, which should be followed meticulously to ensure full protection. For Fortinet users, disabling the FortiCloud SSO login feature temporarily is a critical step if it has been enabled. The process is straightforward, either through the system settings or the command line interface. This immediate action helps to safeguard against potential authentication bypasses until the system can be fully updated. Ivanti users should be particularly vigilant, given the nature of the vulnerabilities in Endpoint Manager. The risk posed by the stored XSS vulnerability highlights the importance of conducting regular audits of user access and privileges. Ensuring that administrative sessions are monitored closely can help to detect any unusual activity that may indicate an exploit in action. Additionally, organizations should consider implementing enhanced security measures such as user interface sanitization and privilege segmentation. These strategies can significantly reduce the attack surface by limiting the potential for an attacker to execute malicious code through compromised sessions. For SAP users, the urgency of patching the identified vulnerabilities cannot be overstated. Given the central role of SAP systems in enterprise environments, failure to act could lead to severe consequences, including unauthorized access and data breaches. Regular training sessions for IT staff on security best practices, including recognizing and responding to potential threats, can further bolster defenses. Lastly, organizations should maintain open lines of communication with their software vendors for updates on any emerging threats and additional security recommendations. As the cybersecurity landscape evolves, staying informed will be key to navigating the challenges posed by these vulnerabilities effectively. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals.